Talkie Tina, and I'm beginning to hate you.
Hey yo, what the fuck?
Hey guys, it's Krissy, and this is Krissy's Kloud. Krissy's Kloud will be a series that I'll conduct that'll be on the Gabspot channel. It'll be like a video here and there where it'll just be me spieling about things that I'm interested in and want to share with you guys. Now, I'm sure most of us are already feeling the chills of the upcoming spooky season. Halloween, my birthday, is right around the corner, and the spirit stores are already opening. The Monster Mash is playing in like every grocery store, and everyone's trying to figure out what their Halloween costume is going to be. In a way, I kind of feel like I've been called upon, like to start making, kind of scary videos or videos with creepy topics. And if you haven't already noticed, today's topic, I'm talking about dolls.
Hi, I'm Chucky. Wanna play?
So anyways, this idea kind of floated in my head because the other night, there's a little story time for you guys. The other night, I was getting ready for bed. I was putting in my headscarf and I was fluffing my pillow and I was, turning off my light, making sure my night light was on. And yes, I still use a night light. And I looked up at my shelf, guys, and all I saw were my porcelain dolls. If you guys don't know me, I have a doll collection. I saw all my porcelain dolls just staring at me from the shelf. And this is nothing new. They're always there. This is, something that's just a common thing. My dolls are always there, and I always keep them just sitting. And I have no problem with it. I'm not afraid of them whatsoever. But it did get me thinking. It made me realize that, is that normal? I mean, most of the people I know, my friends, family members, classmates, peers, teachers, everybody I know, most people, are creeped out, or at least a little bit creeped out by dolls. Most people that know me know that I don't find them scary at all, but they do find me a little bit odd for having doll collections. The fact that I can sleep in a room with just dolls sitting there staring, makes people think that something might be a little bit wrong with me. Despite all the horror movies, like The Conjuring, Child's Play, The Boy, and the Twilight Zone or Alfred Hitchcock episodes about dolls like The Woodbine Twineth and Talking Tina and the plethora of other shows and movies about them, I'm still not scared. So I went back into my recollection. I went all the way back to the past, and I tried to figure out, when did my fascination with old-time porcelain dolls start? And then I realized I was about 7 or 8 when I was in this phase of really just being obsessed with Shirley Temple and Shirley Temple movies. If you guys don't know who Shirley Temple is, she was a big child star during the 30s, early 40s, and everyone loved her. And she had something called Shirley Temple dolls. There were Shirley Temple drinks, and then there were Shirley Temple dolls, and every little girl at the time wanted them. Me, obviously, this wasn't in the 30s. When I was a kid, I wanted a Shirley Temple doll too. Call me an old soul or whatever. I really wanted a Shirley Temple doll, guys. I was really adamant about it. I put it on every Christmas list. I remember saying I wanted a Shirley Temple doll. But you know what I got? I always got a Baby Alive. And I'm telling you guys, Baby Alive, it was just not it for me. But I remember making a promise to myself that one day I'm going to buy myself a bunch of different dolls. I'm going to collect them from thrift shops. If any of my friends don't want their dolls, they can just give it to me. I literally tell people, guys, I tell my friends or people that I know, if you have any dolls that you don't want anymore, send them my way. So this nonstop and this obsession for dolls has kind of over the years made people, kind of look at me like, is she okay? Is she good? Is she crazy? She's a little strange. And yeah, maybe it's a little odd, guys. But anyway, I don't find them creepy. But this fear that I see people having has motivated me to do some research and try to figure out, are horror movies the sole responsible for dolls being scary, or is there something else? And throughout most of my research, I found one main reason why dolls are constantly put into this category, into this hierarchical category of being one of the most off-putting, terrifying things that some people have literally ever seen. And it is simply because, guys, They are in a gray area. Dolls are in a gray area because they look like they could be real. Some of them, let's be honest, some of these dolls out here, guys, look like they are real. But behind the mask, behind the cute little face, or maybe some people don't think it's cute, but behind the face and the inside, there's no mind and there's no soul. Like some of these dolls, guys, they have hair, they got blush on their cheeks, they got, eyes that move, some of them. They have their skin sometimes of these dolls' skin be smelling like, got some perfume on it. It's just all kinds of stuff. But there's nothing behind it. There's no person actually in the doll. And that is one of the main reasons why it creeps people out. Now, to throw some science at you guys, because there's always some science behind this. Thalia Wheatley, a cognitive neuroscientist at Dartmouth, says it's all about how our brain detects and focuses on faces. The ability to differentiate a who from a what, a who from inanimate objects. Human beings, we must be able to make this distinction between, whether this thing, it has a face, right? But it doesn't have anything on the inside, and even in some of the articles I was reading, they talked about how some of us humans, we sometimes see faces in certain images. You might see it in on a clock, or even in the clouds, all kinds of stuff. You ever see one of those little trick images where, what can you see here? Sometimes you'll see a man's face, or you'll see a woman's face, but it's actually not that, but you can still see it. It shows how humans, since we're babies, we're able to, we're very perceptive of a face and what it looks like because of our survival instincts. So anyway, Thalia Wheatley did a study, and if you guys can see, I'm inserting an image of just this picture, a long picture, and at the end there's a face that looks like a doll, and at the very end it's looks more human. And most humans during the study believed that the face was most alive between 65 to 67%. They said that recognizing life in the face was greater than the capacity of mental life. It was easier for them to see life within the doll's face instead of questioning or thinking about whether or not there was a mind behind it, because that's more of a longer process. When you see a face, that's what you first see. Thinking about is there a life in there is not really what comes to mind when you're looking at a doll or something like that. And a lot of people said that it looked like the doll, or the picture I should say, was staring back at them. Wheatley also conducted another study using EEG to measure brain responses of people looking at doll faces, human faces, and clocks. I can't actually pronounce EEG. It's a very long word, guys. Just look it up. EEG is a method to record an electrogram of the electrical activity on the scalp that has been shown to represent the microscopic activity of the surface layer of the brain underneath. And they found two important things about how the brain works. First, that the brain detects faces quickly, obvi, and whether the face has a mind or not. That came second. It's a longer process. So all in all, dolls are scary to people based on the simple fact that they look like they're alive. They look like they could be real. They look like there might be some life in some of these dolls. Because I said, guys, some of these dolls look realistic because they're staring at you. They're staring back at you, and they look like a knockoff human. But there is no mind or soul within the doll. Or at least that's what we commonly believe, that there is no soul. And that understanding that there's actually nothing there, it's a bit off-putting to a lot of people. And it follows a theory, actually. It's called the uncanny valley, which is based on the concept of humans having a response when we meet an entity that's not all human, but it kind of looks like it could be, like a robot, an animatronic, and even avatars, like digital avatars, guys. The theory was founded in the 1970s by the Japanese roboticist Masahiro Mori. It goes into the issue with incongruency in facial expressions and things like not adding up. Sometimes you see a doll, it's smiling, but its eyes look scary, or they look dead or terrified. And sometimes their eyes and mouth are both dead looking, but then the doll is wearing some really pretty dress, and it's, kind of looks like it's in conflict with itself. Honestly, guys, I'd love to do more research on the uncanny valley. Maybe for a future video, I'll do more of a breakdown or do more of a research on that, because I found that to be fascinating. I never even heard of that before, and it kind of made me realize that, well, that kind of makes sense, that why that would be scary and off-putting to most people. Like I said in the beginning of the video, I kind of thought that horror movies were like the sole responsible for terrifying people. I thought that they just made dolls scary in them, but they weren't in real life. But now that I think about it, I think dolls to an extent have their own sinister quality, simply because of the fact that they look like they're a human. They have human looks, they have a human face, a human body, but then they're not a human on the inside, and sometimes their eyes are kind of scary looking. But personally, for me, I do not find dolls creepy at all. I could easily just walk into the Pollock Toy Museum in London, head straight to the doll room with ease. And I'm sure most of you guys don't know what that is. The Pollock Toy Museum, as it's in the title, is a museum in London with a bunch of toys, and there is a doll room. And it's been said that a lot of people have not been able to actually walk in there because it's that scary. Anyways, guys, this video is coming to an end, and I have to say I really enjoyed reading about why dolls are really scary to people, and I have to say I can also understand where that fear comes from. I think it just depends on who you are. If you like dolls, you like them. If you don't, you don't, and moving on. But I will say, if I was in my house and I saw like one of my dolls pulling some Chucky type stuff, then we'd have a problem. I still think if Chucky was actually real, that would actually mess up like my idea of dolls. Anyways, guys, I really hope you enjoyed this video. Give the video a thumbs up and definitely leave a comment on what you thought, and make sure you subscribe to the channel, subscribe to the Gabspot, and definitely make sure to tune in to our live streams on Fridays at 10 p.m. when I get with the gang and we just talk and chat. Anyways, guys, I'll be seeing you. Peace out.